everybody, Koricon here with my brother Adam, and we are doing a spoiler discussion. So if you haven't seen Glass, watch
this video and then get confused and then go watch the movie.
No, go watch the movie and then come back. Or watch my spoiler-free review, which is also up. Now, Glass is the third movie of the Unbreakable trilogy from M. Night Shyamalan, written and directed. Unbreakable came out in 2000. The sequel, which was Split, came out in 2016.
Was it that soon ago?
Yeah, it was.
Oh.
Yeah, it wasn't very long ago. And Glass is part 3. It's the wrapping of the trilogy. Now, I loved the movie.
Oh, it was great.
I thought it was well done, and it fit perfectly in the Unbreakable universe. So the first movie is more of, if you haven't seen it, I don't know why you haven't seen it, but if you haven't seen Unbreakable, go watch that before you watch Glass.
Yeah.
You really need to, I guess you don't have to watch the trilogy because they do kind of tell you who the characters are. But you don't get any of the dynamic between these characters.
You don't get the depth, I think, from the story.
Yeah. It's really meant to be a part 3, not a standalone film.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I guess he did a pretty good job at making it separate, but also part of it.
Yeah,
he led you up to it in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I don't think you would get the depth.
No,
that you would get from watching it as a third movie, though.
Yeah, you really need the characterization and the backstory of the other characters to kind of appreciate this film.
Yeah, I think you could still watch it though. I didn't think about that. Did you?
Yeah, you could still watch it because they give you a background on each character, especially when the psychiatrist is talking about who they are.
Yeah,
but you don't get enough of a background to really feel what. How it fits into the whole universe.
Yeah, the ending and the story has more depth if you watch it as the third movie.
Plus, there's things in Unbreakable and in Split that get brought back, called back on in this movie that you may not quite understand the twist.
Yeah.
So, again, this is spoilers. So, there's a twist in the film that Split, Kevin... James McAvoy's character who has split personality, that Kevin's father, who had died and left him to be alone with his abusive mother, his father died on the same train that Dunn, who's Bruce Willis's character, was on in the first film. In the first Unbreakable movie, he gets in this train wreck that Mr. Glass had created to prove that there were superhuman people, and the only survivor was Dunn. Well, one of the victims, one of the people that died on the train, was Kevin's father, with the last name of Crumb. And they had the briefcase with Crumb on it, the last name of the character. That was in Unbreakable. That was in the movie 18 years ago. Yeah. I remember that briefcase. Yeah. And so it was a callback. And I liked how that wrapped up. It added a cool little dynamic on the twist at the end. I mean, it's not the same kind of a twist as like Sixth Sense where he's dead. It's more of the same kind of twist that you had in Unbreakable or in Split, that Split was a part of this universe. It felt like that kind of
twist. I thought it felt like Unbreakable. It felt like an Unbreakable movie. I mean, they definitely built up to that twist. And it was more than one twist. That wasn't the only twist.
Yeah, that wasn't the only twist.
Like you had a group of people manipulating them.
You had a secret society that controls the amount of superhuman people that are in the world. Because if you have a superhuman, like a superhero, then you're going... Their philosophy or the way they think is if you have a superhero, then you're going to have an equally powerful villain, and it just gets unmanageable. Which they touch on the comic books, in Batman. But in The Dark Knight, Alfred says to Bruce Wayne, you've up the game. You know, now they can't fight you, so they have to turn to people that are uncontrollable, that can equal you, basically. And so that's what this secret society is afraid of. And so they try to stop these superhumans from getting into the public view. So most of the movie takes place in this psychiatric hospital where this psychiatrist is trying to convince them that they don't actually have superpowers, that it's all in their head.
And I also think there's like a third twist with just the story. Glass kind of like he manipulated events to expose that there were superheroes. He did that in this too.
Yeah, by live streaming all of the security cameras.
Yeah. And you don't get that reveal to the end.
But what I like about the reveals for the twists is the stuff that they used as the reveal is in the film.
Yes.
Like you see him go in and he's writing code.
You don't know what he's doing.
But yeah. But then they call back to it when they show the twist that he was live streaming it.
And throughout the end sequence, it's half the shots are from a camera. Or some of the shots are from the camera.
Yeah, so you're seeing it from the security footage point of view.
Yeah.
Which at first you're not sure why they're doing that, but then it makes sense.
It just seems like an added element.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, in some of the fight scenes between Dunn and Kevin, when he's the Beast, they had a lot of like camera shots where it was stationary on the person's face, it was moving around, and a lot of kind of, I guess you would say, like strength positioning, you know, where they were choking each other, but you're not really like hitting or throwing as much. I would have liked a little bit more of a dynamic fight sequence, but they did have some awesome stuff like you were saying earlier.
Oh yeah, like when he pushed him into the van and then the camera goes into the van and there's like a practical effect of the van. The
denting on the inside.
It's great.
And moving. The whole van is like shifting down the road. So I liked the fight scenes. I would have liked a little bit more dynamic fight scene.
Yeah. I mean, it is a drama, though. I think it's mostly a drama, but you should have a fight scene in it. That's the payoff. That's the climax.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're building up to that.
But what can you do in a parking lot?
Right.
How could you make it more dynamic of a fight scene in a parking lot?
Well, they had some elements of it being dynamic, like when he threw them into the water, or when he goes after the security guards.
Yeah.
You know, but it seemed like they held back just a bit too much. I would have liked a little bit more throwing, action. Maybe a little bit more punching.
Is that the comic bookiness in you?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you want to make it... The thing about these movies is, you know, they're based on the idea that comic books...
But they are still just figuring out their powers. That's the thing. They don't know the extent of their powers, and they're still learning it. So, I mean, can it be that dynamic of a fight scene? Because they're still learning who they are.
I think you could still make it a little bit more dynamic.
Okay.
I do. I think you could have not had them standing there choking each other for as long as they did.
There was a lot of choking.
There was a lot of choking.
That's true.
But I've heard some people say, you know, it's been getting some negative reviews from critics, but it's been getting a really high score for like viewers. And I'm on the side of the viewers. I don't understand why some of the critics hate this movie.
Oh yeah, it's everything I would have hoped from an Unbreakable movie and more. It's exactly what I wanted and more.
Yeah.
I mean, good story weaving, good twists, good characters development, and good writing. Everything I would have hoped from this movie, he put it in there.
And James McAvoy did an amazing job. Again,
I think we got some more characters.
We did
too.
Yeah, I think he only had like 5 or 6 personalities in Split, and in this one they had like a good 10 or 11. Or 12.
I liked in the credits where it was like all the characters of James McAvoy.
James McAvoy. Yeah,
I've never seen that before.
They listed out like 12 character names, and then right next to it, just once.
It was more.
James
it was like
McAvoy.
20. I don't think I've seen that in the credits. Have you?
No.
Oh, that was great.
No, and a lot of times for actors to do multiple personalities,
It's like 2 or 3 or 5 at the most, not 20.
Yeah, not like 20. But what they do is they'll act one character and then they'll do a cutaway to something else, like looking at another character, and then they'll come back and he'll be in another character. And they do that some in this movie, but they also do, which is very difficult for an actor,
in the same shot,
switching between. And he had one scene where he switches from
like 3 characters.
Yeah, from like Kevin to Hedwig and then to the lady.
Yeah.
Like, and you can just see it on his face.
Yeah. That probably took a while to get that shot.
But he did a great job of just switching between he doesn't even have to say anything. You know what personality he's in.
Do you think they leaned on the kid too much? Because they brought the kid up a lot because it's funny.
Well,
it's like it's the funny part.
But they set that up in Split that he controls.
Like when he goes off the camera and he puts the little finger.
But they set that up in Split. The 9-year-old kid is the one that holds Kevin down. That he has more control over the light, and then that's what gives the Horde control.
Okay, I forgot about that.
So they had set that up, and I don't know, man. I liked it a lot. I guess if anything, maybe I would have liked a little bit more with Dunn, but you had his son's story in there.
And the ending scene, the pretentious denouement, could have been maybe better. The ending scene, maybe.
Yeah, the end scene where they.
But how do you close it out that quick and still wrap it up? I don't know.
Because they uploaded all of the footage that was live streamed
by Glass,
and they sent it to the media and all this stuff, and they were basically sitting in a train station
waiting for it to go viral.
Yeah, waiting for it to go viral. And my immediate thought was, I wonder what tags they used. What kind of clickbait did they have on their thumbnail?
Like naked women.
But it was on the news, so they obviously sent it out to all the media outlets at the same time. But then, some people are going to say that it was fake. Some are going to say it's going to be like CGI. But that could be part of a sequel.
Oh, yeah.
Because now you have this society. Glass says at the end, this is an origin story.
Yeah. Yeah, this is an origin. That's the other twist. This is an origin story. There's like 4 twists.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he's just getting started. I think he could, if he wanted, just be getting started and expand this whole universe. And like a TV series or more movies, another trilogy.
Yeah, you have this society. They're going from city to city and trying to stop these people. You could easily make more movies in the universe. You just won't have your main 3 guys because they all die. I told you this was spoiler. But yeah, all 3 of them die. Glass gets killed by...
Yeah, what do you think of that?
Kevin.
Do you hate that or like that?
That they all died?
I think it's like a tragedy. It's like a Hamlet. It works. Yeah. It's sad that they all die. You want them to continue, but it wraps up the trilogy nicely, I think.
Yeah, it completes the story.
Yeah. It's a tragic story.
Yeah, it is a tragic story. And they show that, like, at the end with Kevin, he takes control of the light, he takes control of the personality and the last and holds on to it while the girl is holding it.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah.
It's a great scene. So overall, I liked the movie. It was shot well. There were only a couple of things where I didn't like the first person view on the faces. I'm not a big fan of those kind of shots. But I thought it was shot well. Cinematography was good. Story was good. Acting was good. Fit in the Unbreakable universe.
And I kind of maybe this is what we've said when Unbreakable came out, but I like the way Shyamalan paints or presents this, where it's very believable or feasible. Like if it actually happened, it would happen this way,
Yeah.
This is probably a realistically unrealistic.
The most realistic, fantastical version.
Yeah,
they touch on that with the whole having the psychiatrist trying to convince them that they don't actually have powers.
Yeah.
And they start to kind of believe that. But then Glass comes in and proves them wrong again.
Yes.
But yeah, Kevin ends up killing Glass because of the reveal that his father was on the train.
Yeah.
And then Kevin gets shot by the group.
The Illuminati.
Yeah, whatever they are.
They're the Illuminati.
And Dunn gets drowned by them too.
Yeah.
Now there was one thing that they had a tower in the film, Masha Tower, which was supposed to be like the ending of the film. The whole plan was that they were going to go down there and Glass was going to try and blow up the building while Dunn and Kevin were fighting, and then that would make them the most public.
Did he want to blow it up?
Yeah, he wanted to go to the three levels that had the chemical plant, and he wanted to blow up the building. Why do you always pick up more than... I don't know.
Like, that's like something you don't really need to know.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird things that get stuck in my head. But the Omasha Tower, or Omashi, however,
I think you're naming it different every time.
Yeah, it was like OHMASA or something like that. Omasha or Masa. Oshima, I don't know.
Okay.
But every time they mentioned the tower, I kept thinking in my head, Nakatomi Plaza.
Yeah. Die Hard.
And I was like, oh, dude, man, I wanted them to totally call it Nakatomi Plaza.
I thought Shyamalan was going to throw in like a Die Hard joke at the climax or something.
And I'm like, come on, man. It's not that important. You can change the name to Nakatomi Plaza.
Yeah.
But they didn't. So in my mind, it's Nakatomi Plaza.
Did you think they were going to throw in like a Die Hard joke?
As soon as I heard the tower, I thought they were going to. Maybe they did and I missed it. But that I would have loved it if they just named it Nakatomi Plaza and didn't say anything else. You know, nice little nod to Die Hard. Anyway, I loved it. I gave it an A- in my review. What did you get?
I agree, A-. There isn't much wrong with it. I mean, it's as good as you would hope for when making a movie, I think.
Now, if you didn't like Unbreakable or Split, you're not going to like this movie.
I thought it felt more like Unbreakable than Split.
It was more like Unbreakable.
Yeah.
So if you don't like Unbreakable, you're not going to like this. If you like Unbreakable, you'll like it.
Yeah, I think if you can only like Split but not like this, maybe.
Split did feel more like a psychological thriller.
Yeah. I could see horror movie lovers just liking Split.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So that's what we think. Comment below and let us know your thoughts on this film. What did you like? What did you not like? Links to all of my stuff is in the description below, so check that out. And I will see you on the next video.